Hello, Miami, and I'm Shay, and this is Mr. Cole, a student teacher here at Miami. So, can you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Hey, again, my name is Troy, Mr. Cole. So I'm currently going back to school to be a middle school or high school English language arts teacher. I originally got my first degree in construction management. I sort of grew up in construction and I just kind of went with that. It wasn't really what I wanted to do. I learned on later on once I got out into the work field. So I'm really excited to be going back to school to be an English teacher. I wanted more of a profession that deals with people and where I can help and use my skills to help people achieve what they want to achieve and kind of have a better experience than I did when I was in middle school. So that is what has motivated me to be a teacher. I also work part-time for the YMCA as an aftercare and before care director. So I work with elementary students on a daily basis. We have a curriculum, we do activities, we do sports, and then their parents eventually come and pick them up from school. So I do that at Cedar Canyon Elementary School.
Nice. So, again, you originally went to college for construction. So, then what made you go down the construction path?
Like I said, I grew up in construction, so I grew up working for Overhead Door. So I would go to houses and install like insulation, so all that itchy yellow stuff you see it goes in your walls, that was me. Working in attics, so it built my work ethic up very well. But again, it was just something that my brothers both did and my dad did, so it was just kind of a family thing, is why I kind of chose that as my major.
Then what made you want to change from construction to teaching?
So I just felt kind of empty with it. It was more just like about money and meeting schedules and just kind of things that I really wasn't passionate about. I've always had a passion for learning. I've always been a very avid reader. So that's kind of what made me want to be an English teacher specifically. But again, I love helping people. I also volunteer as a tutor for adults that are trying to go back to school and get their general education degree. And I also tutor with Project Reads, which is like elementary kids who struggle with reading. So I just like giving back and again using my skills and things that I was fortunate enough to have as a child to kind of help kids nowadays and try to help them achieve what they want to achieve.
So I guess that kind of goes into our next question about what do you like most about teaching?
What I like most about teaching, one is how much I can learn from the students. It's something that I realized right away, like they say stuff that you're just like, oh, I never would have thought you would have said that, or like I didn't think of it that way. So seeing things from the students' point of view is kind of helped me because I didn't have a lot of experience working with kids before I started my job as like a camp counselor and then at the before and after care. So again, just wanting to give back and help people and just be able to build those relationships rather than it just being like construction was, where it was just you got to meet this date and everyone's just kind of, there's a lot of animosity. Everyone was not very like happy at work. So just it's more of a joyful thing where I can actually help people.
So then why did you choose to student teach here at Miami?
So I got placed a year ago. I did my first student observation with Miami Middle School, actually with Mrs. Muller. So it kind of put me in a different environment. I come from just kind of like your traditional like suburban background. I went to the Southwest Allen County School, so I wanted to kind of immerse myself in a different area and get different like cultural perspectives from different students. So it was definitely more of a diverse school, so I wanted to get that experience, and I've loved it so far, getting to know the students and learning about what they do, like their home life and things like that, like their different cultures. So that's fun.
And then is there anything else you would like to say to the students at Miami who might end up changing careers or even want to go into teaching or construction?
So I would say definitely, don't look at like maybe like what is going to make someone else happy. You got to focus on what's going to make you happy. So I was always focused on like pleasing like my parents or like authority figures. So focusing on starting with like what you're passionate about and then deciding like what career you want to go into rather than kind of working like from the backwards position. I was always worried about how much money am I going to make, how am I going to support a family, when today I think it's more student-centered where they're able to make more decisions for themselves, so that once you do get to that point where you're making a career choice, it's more based on you and not what society or what authority figures expect from you. So.
Yes, well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to have this interview with us. So now we're going to go back to the host to talk about the rest of homeroom.